Hey guys, this is Eric from ET Figure Unboxing, and in this video, we're going to take a look at SH Figuarts Garo Ryuga version. So I don't know anything about the Golden Knight except for they look very cool, and I think they're supposedly the adult version of Kamen Riders. And yeah, they're like playing. I think from what I know is that they're specially catered for adult. It's like, yeah, just like what I said, adult version of Kamen Riders, and they look very cool. And here's the right side of the box, and here's the left side of the box, and this just features like the whole art. And I like how their box is really small. Well, it does mean that it came with less stuff, or it could also mean that it's easier for us to store. Cause yeah, this is the Bears box, so we can just kind of like compare them to just see how small it is. And it just looks really I don't know, high class. And here's the back of the box. I tried to watch one episode of this Garo Ryuga version. I don't know anything about it, and I think he is the main character of a second season or something, and probably not the main Garo. And as you can see, he's the Ryuga version. And Ryuga is apparently the other character. But yeah, let's jump straight into the box, or I'm just gonna tear this open and see what we got. Alright, so here we have the figure itself, and he already looks really badass. I like a sword, and he came with 6 pairs of hands and just one alternative hand. I'm assuming it's for holding the sword with a slightly different angle. But yeah, nothing else. He doesn't even come with a cape. But this is exactly what he looks like at the beginning of the show anyways. But yeah, let's jump straight into the figure and see what we got. He looks really good. Alright, so here we have the figure itself, and this is my first time ever buying a Garo figure. I've always been watching the videos just because I'm a really big fan of SH Figuarts. I've seen a lot of reviews of the Garo figures, but I just never picked one up because they're usually quite expensive, and the quality control seems to be really bad. But I think this guy, he's fairly new, so the quality control should be fixed, and I just like the overall paint job and the sculpt and just how the character looks. So I have to go find out like what the show is about, but he looks really good. And yeah, now let's take a closer look and see what we have for the articulation. Right, so before we take a look at the articulation, let's take a closer look at the face sculpt and the gem on his body. This just looks really good. Just look at his head. I'm not too big of a fan for the the lion or the tiger face, but he still looks pretty good. I like it. And here's the back. And that looks really good. We're just gonna take a closer look. Alright, now let's get into the articulation. Of course, on neck down, he is, you have the standard the bull pack. I think it's a double bull pack. I'm not too sure. But he has a really good range of motion, like what we would expect from SH Figuarts. And this is supposed to be like a cape, or like, the parts, it moves. And he's supposed to have a cape, but I don't know, like, they didn't include it in this one. But I think when he first came on the first few episodes, he doesn't have a cape. I could be wrong, but I've seen like the first episode, he doesn't have a cape. And the shoulder parts just connect through his back, and then you can move like that. And then he has another shoulder pack over here, and it's just your standard SH Figuarts. He can basically do anything. He doesn't have the pop out on shoulder though. Like, he doesn't have the shoulder incorporated. So it's a really standard SH Figuarts. And he does have bicep swivel, and this looks really smooth. This is one of the smoothest I've ever seen. So the quality control seems to be really good, and of course he can do the biceps curl. You guys can see that. I don't really have to tell you that. And here is the ab crunch. The ab crunch is really good. He has like a double ab like right here. But it's not as good as I thought, but he doesn't really need that. If you watch the show, you will know what I'm talking about. And the hip is an older pull down hip, like we have for the older Dragon Ball figures. And it just looks really standard, and he can bend his knee that much. And all this is really I don't want to say stiff, but it's really good. Like, it's really solid. I don't like it loose, so this is okay. You just have to be really careful not to chip the paint, and the feet moves around that much, and there's a hinge. You can do that. And yeah, and that's it for the articulation. And let's see what we have for the accessories. Alright, so for the accessories, he came with a pair of display open hands, just like a resting hands. And I took this out just because I really want to show you guys how you put it on. I really like how they're doing it these days, because some of them are really hard to put on. Here you just connect it, and you just kind of slowly apply a little bit of pressure, and it just slides in. And that is really good. That's a really big improvement. You see how easy that was? You just like, just apply a little bit of pressure and it will just slide in. And it's really secure. It's not loose or anything. So they do focus on these attention to detail, and I should give Bandai credit for that. It's so good. Like you don't feel like you're gonna break your figures the whole time, and he looks really good with this hand. He just looks like he's really powerful, you know. I'm gonna add some like black flame around him later when we're doing the final thoughts. Alright, so next up we have the more dynamic posing hands, and these are just like, you know, he's reaching towards people or something, you know, he's doing like that, like he's reaching. And just to show you guys again how easily to assemble this, you just put it on and easily apply a little bit of pressure and it will just slide in like so. Like that is so great. I love it. Like it's good. Or it could look like he's about to touch someone's boobs or something. I don't know. So next up, he came with a pair of weapon holding hands, and that is really standard. And again, I'm just gonna, you know, slide it in and show you guys how easily this is and keep expressing this. It's so solid, and I just love how they improve that, because I have so much hard time with some of the older Kamen Riders. I feel like every time I try to change my hands, I'm gonna snap something. And here is the sword, and it looks really, really good. I just love like characters with sword, because I feel like the only reason I got him is because this really cool sword, and he just looks really good. And I really like figures with swords, except for Dragon Ball figures. Well, that's why Trunks is one of my favorite. But yeah, let's take a look at what he looks like with a sword. Alright, so even the swords, they've done a really, really good job of improving the technology in terms of the quality. Not the quality, but like usually you would chip the paint or something with like any of the figures, even the Trunks or Star Wars figures, or whether you're putting lightsabers in, it's gonna chip the paint. But they put it in a way so it's not too stiff, and it's not chipping my paint at all after putting this in. But that said, it's not as secure as you would want to be, and it kind of wiggles around, but it gets the job done. Like this thing is soft enough where you can move his fingers around. So yeah, I don't have too much complaint with that, as long as you don't like, you know, be too rough with the figures. This is really, really sufficient. Like it's great. Like the quality control of the Garo figures are really good right now. Well, I never owned the old one, so I couldn't really tell just by looking at the reviews. But I would say in general, these are really, really good quality right now. Alright, so lastly, he came with the right hand piece where he's holding a sword in a slight angle. Yeah, they do that a lot these days, and again, this is the last time you're gonna see this. I'm gonna slightly... Oh, this is actually... Wait, this one's actually a little harder, so... yeah, this one is a little bit harder. Like this one is mismolded or something. But yeah, it's still pretty easy. You just have to line them up properly and just, you know, apply a little bit of pressure on it. I'm just gonna try to put the sword right here, and instead of cutting it, so you guys can see the finger is kind of flexible, so you can kind of pull the finger. You can't really see from here because I'm doing this, but you can see you can just pull the finger and then put it in. So it doesn't chip the paint as much as some of the figures, but you know, he can't really hold it too securely. So there's a downside to that. But I think this is also very good. So it really depends on what the company thinks and what they feel like in terms of, oh my god, this is kind of loose. Alright, so yeah, it is kind of loose, but on the bright side, it doesn't chip your paint. So if it is like a stationary display piece, it's really good. Wait, I'm just gonna put him in a better pose. Alright, but that's it for the accessories. He doesn't come with a lot, unfortunately, but he comes with enough. But for the price point, he is kind of expensive, and the accessories kind of lacking. But yeah, let's jump straight into the size comparison. Alright, so for the size comparison, I'm not too sure who to show you guys, but I'm gonna do with my most recent figure reviews. And this is Beerus, and Beerus towers over him just slightly with the ear, and that looks really good. I would say they're still in pretty good scale, because I think Beerus is quite tall. But I would say the Garo figures should be a little bit taller. No, I'm not sure, because the Japanese people who played in those are actually not too tall anyways. And here is next to Kakashi. So I think it's really, really accurate though. Now that I think about it, yeah, the Japanese people in the show is not that tall, if I remember correctly. And here we have the Kirito, the SAO version. And that's what he will look like next to him. And some random super action statues most of you probably don't care about. And Dio is actually taller than him just by a little bit. And I just hope the super action statues figures are a little bit bigger. But it's not meant to scale with SH Figuarts, so I guess it's fine. And here we have Kurapika from Figma. Hunter x Hunter, pretty good anime. But the writer is really lazy, so we can never finish the manga anime. Here's Naruto. not Naruto. Here's Naruto's dad, Minato, the fourth Hokage. I'm just gonna show off the words again. And here we have the Yu from Persona 4, and that's what he'll look like next to Garo. And what else do I have here? I have Figma Levi, and that looks really good. Oh, this is one of my favorite Figma, and I'm a really big fan of Levi. I don't know why I told you guys that, but yeah, that's a fun fact. And here is, of course, Jijiro Kirito. I always have the same figures lying on one of these chairs I'm sitting on. And here we have the SH Figuarts Bruce Lee. And that looks about right. And Bruce Lee should probably kick his ass. I'm pretty sure he can do that. And here I was playing with my Makoto, and he's doing some crazy high kicks. And you know, his face got hit. Right here I have some stickers applying on it, and it looks like he got hit. And that looks pretty good. And yeah, he can kick him in the face. And what else do I have here? Oh yeah, I just got this guy second-handed, and I've been wanting this guy for a very long time. And here's the Fang Joker from the Kamen Rider W series, and he looks really good. And I got this guy around $30, so I'm really happy with it. But yeah, let's jump straight into some size comparison on the right side of my collection. Alright, so there we have Hulk, we have Mewtwo, we have Piccolo, we have Renma from the certain angle, if you can see that. So he's just slightly shorter than, let me just try to move it a little bit closer so you can see that. So he's around, so we have Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, we have Figma, Spider-Man over there, you can't really compare. But this is what he will look like next to Piccolo, Renma, Obi-Wan, and Mewtwo. So I'm pretty sure you have one of these figures if you're watching my videos and you're a big fan of SH Figuarts. So you can have a pretty good idea what he looks like next to some of the figures. And yeah, let's jump straight into the middle part where I have stuff behind the backdrop and see what we have. All right. Oh, so he actually looks really good with the backdrop. Let me adjust it a little bit here. So I just like put it down so you can kind of see. So here is him next to Captain America, Thor, and some of the Dragon Ball figures. I'm gonna move Thor and Captain America over here. They're actually the standard now I'm comparing with them. And yeah, that looks really good. So he's around that size and just a little bit shorter than Captain America, but that's really cool. And we have Vegeta over here. And of course, they're not meant to be in scale because Super Saiyans are hella big anyways, right? They're really super bulky. And this is really cool. I want to show you guys my Raiden figure from Metal Gear Rising, but he's kind of crouching. But this is what he will look like next to the Revoltech. That's crouching. But yeah, that's really cool. Alright, let's jump straight into the final thoughts and see what we got. Ooh, we have Kylo Ren over there. Oh, we have Omega Man over there. Alright, so for the final thoughts, I highly recommend the figure. And I don't know anything about Garo Knights. I've only seen the first episode. But this guy has already become one of my favorite figure. And I've only been playing with him for as long as I'm making this video. And he is really expensive right now. So I think that's the only downside. And the lack of accessories is not helping it. He's around $100 everywhere. I think the best you can get is around $90. I was managed to get it at a very cheap price, but I don't think the supplier carries it anymore. But yeah, do look into this. And the golden one is coming out, like the gold armor version, meaning the whole thing being gold, and it's the same character. I'm not too sure I'm gonna order that, but I might, just because how much I like this character already. And that one I remember comes with the slashing effects, if I remember correctly. And that looks really good. But yeah, I think that's it for my review. I really do enjoy the figure. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And do let me know what you think about Garos in general. And I'll see you guys in the next video.